Hello and welcome. In the dark corners of feudal Japan, where power was measured by loyalty and strength, there existed a hidden world. A world shrouded in mystery, where skilled warriors operated in secrecy, bound not by honor but by survival and strategy. These were the ninja, masters of stealth, experts in deception, and highly trained operatives who existed beyond the rigid codes of the samurai. Across centuries, stories of these shadow warriors have evolved from whispered legends to popular culture icons. We imagine them as superhuman figures, capable of disappearing in a puff of smoke, scaling walls with ease, and wielding lethal weapons with precision. But behind the myth lies a reality just as intriguing, one forged in the harsh mountains of Iga and Koga, where the first ninja clans trained in the arts of espionage, assassination, and survival. In this documentary, we'll journey deep into the heart of ninja history. We'll uncover the origins of the ninja clans, explore their unique skills and philosophies, and track their influence as Japan transitioned from a country divided by warlords to one unified under the Tokugawa shogunate. Through expert insights, historical reenactments, and rare glimpses into the practices and tools of these elusive warriors, we'll separate fact from fiction and reveal the truth behind the enigmatic figures who have captivated the world for centuries. Join us as we delve into the shadows of Japan's past to uncover the reality of the ninja, a tale of adaptability, resilience, and the silent influence of those who worked behind the scenes. Chapter 1: The Origins of the Ninja. The mysterious figure of the ninja has captivated imaginations for centuries, from the misty mountains of medieval Japan to the glossy covers of modern comic books. Known for their stealth, secrecy, and seemingly superhuman abilities, ninjas have become a symbol of mystery and power. Yet, the story of the ninja is grounded in the historical landscapes of Japan, rooted in conflict, survival, and a unique set of skills that allowed them to operate in ways that were both feared and admired. To truly understand ninjas, we must journey back to the origins of these shadowy figures and the unique environment in which they emerged. The art of the ninja, known as ninjutsu, is thought to have developed between the 6th and 7th centuries during Japan's feudal era. The samurai warrior class held a rigid code of honor, bushido, which emphasized loyalty, courage, and ritualized combat. However, not everyone had access to the resources or privileges to live by this code. Ninjutsu was born out of necessity, practiced by those who could not or did not want to engage in open combat, preferring instead to adopt methods that were more covert and strategic. Aspects of ninjutsu were influenced by military tactics and survival techniques brought to Japan through Chinese emissaries and monks, particularly during the Tang dynasty. Techniques of stealth, espionage, and guerrilla warfare were amalgamated, creating a new way of survival that blended seamlessly into Japan's mountainous terrain and dense forests. Practitioners of these skills became known as shinobi, embodying the spirit of adaptability and resourcefulness that would characterize these warriors. The regions of Iga and Koga, two mountainous areas in Japan, became strongholds for early ninja communities. These remote areas provided natural fortifications, allowing local families to hone ninjutsu skills away from the prying eyes of feudal lords. Unlike samurai, who were largely connected to aristocratic clans, ninjas were often peasants, farmers, or those living on the fringes of society. This distance from mainstream Japanese society allowed them to operate with a sense of independence, free to develop their own unique combat systems. The rugged terrain also forced the people of Iga and Koga to become highly self-sufficient. They relied on innovative survival tactics, mastering techniques for traversing forests and mountains quietly and efficiently. The physical demands of the region fostered resilience and agility, both of which became central to the ninja skill set. It was in these hidden valleys and steep mountains that the ninjas' techniques of stealth and ambush evolved into the formalized discipline of ninjutsu. As Japan descended into a period of intense feudal conflict, known as the Sengo Jidai or Warring States period, the ninja came to play an increasingly important role. While samurai upheld ideals of open, honor-bound warfare, the chaos of this period created a demand for covert tactics. Ninja clans began to offer their services as spies, scouts, and saboteurs to warlords looking for any advantage in a constantly shifting power struggle. Ninjas would carry out espionage missions, infiltrating enemy strongholds to gather intelligence, steal plans, and sometimes assassinate key figures. Unlike the samurai, whose allegiance lay with powerful noble families, ninja were often independent contractors. Their skills were for hire to those who needed their unique abilities, and their services were in high demand by feudal lords who were trying to outwit and outmaneuver their rivals. This need for covert intelligence made ninjas an indispensable, albeit secretive, force in Japan's political landscape. Unlike the noble samurai who lived and died by bushido, ninjas followed a more pragmatic philosophy. At the heart of ninjutsu was the idea of survival and adaptability. Rather than fighting head-on, ninjas relied on their ability to disappear, to move unseen, and to manipulate their surroundings to gain the upper hand. This included the use of disguises, smoke bombs, and silent weapons designed for stealth. The skills of the ninja were varied and included unarmed combat, the use of concealed weapons like the shuriken and the kusarigama, as well as training in survival tactics, escape techniques, and psychological warfare. Ninjas had to be masters of disguise, blending into enemy ranks as soldiers, merchants, or monks. The development of these skills created a unique warrior who could operate where the samurai could not. The world of the ninja was one cloaked in secrecy, which added to their mystique. Ninja clans often operated within tight family groups, passing their skills down through generations. Outsiders rarely, if ever, had access to their knowledge. This secrecy led to rumors, exaggerations, and myths that elevated the ninja to near-mythical status even in their own time. Stories of ninjas walking on water, disappearing into thin air, or possessing supernatural abilities became part of Japanese folklore, blurring the lines between reality and legend. It was this blend of real skill and myth that has kept the ninja in the popular imagination for centuries. As agents of espionage and masters of the unseen, they represented an alternative form of power in a world dominated by warriors bound by rigid codes of conduct. In the chapters that follow, we will delve deeper into the skills, weapons, and techniques that allowed ninjas to carry out their missions, as well as the stories that turned them into legends. Chapter 2: The Skills and Training of the Ninja. To the casual observer, a ninja's abilities might appear supernatural, but their impressive skill set was the result of relentless training, rigorous discipline, and a deep understanding of human psychology and the natural world. A ninja was far more than a mere fighter. They were spies, masters of disguise, survival experts, and unconventional warriors. This chapter explores the training and skills that transformed ordinary individuals into legendary agents of stealth and strategy. Training to become a ninja began early, often within childhood, as members of ninja clans were born into their role. The rigorous conditioning regimen focused on agility, endurance, flexibility, and strength, as these were vital to carrying out stealth operations. Ninjas were trained to move silently and quickly across rough terrain, using their environment to their advantage. Physical conditioning included running up mountains, crawling through narrow spaces, and balancing on thin branches to ensure that no surface or obstacle would be too challenging during a mission. The importance of silence and subtlety was ingrained from the start. Ninjas were taught to control their breathing and heartbeat, to minimize noise in movement, and to remain perfectly still for extended periods. They practiced techniques like shinobi aruki, which allowed them to move undetected across floors or through forests, stepping carefully to reduce sound and avoid detection. Beyond physical conditioning, ninjas practiced intense mental discipline. The ability to endure hardship, remain focused under extreme pressure, and confront the unknown with calm was paramount. They were often required to meditate for hours, fostering a mental clarity and adaptability that was crucial for handling the unpredictability of their missions. Ninja weaponry was unique in that it was not just designed for attack, but also for stealth, deception, and adaptability. Many weapons used by ninjas were compact, easy to conceal, and sometimes improvised from everyday tools. Here are some of the most iconic weapons used by these elusive warriors. Shuriken, often associated with ninjas, these small, flat blades could be thrown to distract or injure an opponent. Though rarely lethal, shuriken were incredibly effective for disorienting an enemy or making a quick escape. Kusarigama. The kusarigama combined a farming sickle with a chain and weight, giving it versatility for both attack and defense. The chain could be used to entangle an opponent's weapon or legs, while the sickle delivered close combat strikes. Kunai. Originally a simple farming tool, the kunai was a small, pointed blade that could be used for stabbing, throwing, or as a climbing aid. Its design was compact and inconspicuous, making it ideal for stealth operations. Tanto. Some ninjas carried short swords for close combat. Unlike the long samurai katana, a tanto could be concealed easily, allowing a ninja to keep a low profile while still possessing a formidable weapon. Bow and naginata. Longer weapons, like the bow and naginata, were also used by ninjas trained in hand-to-hand combat. These weapons could be used to block, strike, or disarm opponents effectively. Ninjas were also resourceful and would often improvise weapons from what was available on the battlefield, using rocks, sticks, or even their own environment to gain the upper hand. The art of stealth, or shinobi jutsu, was one of the cornerstones of ninjutsu. Ninjas trained extensively in blending into their surroundings, moving undetected, and deceiving their enemies through tactics that bordered on the psychological. A ninja's ability to use shadows, sound, and space to their advantage was nothing short of legendary. Disguises and infiltration. One of the ninjas' most powerful tools was the art of disguise. Ninjas learned to blend in with different segments of society, adopting the attire, speech, and mannerisms of farmers, monks, merchants, or even rival soldiers. A well-executed disguise allowed ninjas to infiltrate enemy lines and gain valuable intelligence without raising suspicion. Their adaptability and resourcefulness allowed them to assume multiple identities seamlessly. Psychological warfare. Ninjas were highly skilled in manipulating fear and paranoia. By leaving shuriken embedded in a visible spot or using smoke bombs to create confusion, ninjas played with their enemies' minds, making them more vulnerable and easier to deceive. Rumors about ninjas' supernatural abilities were often deliberately spread by ninjas themselves, who knew that the psychological advantage was as crucial as any physical skill. Misdirection and distractions. Ninjas employed a variety of methods to divert attention and create confusion. They were known to use small bombs filled with powders or noisemakers to distract guards or create a smoke screen, allowing for a swift escape. This tactic, known as metsubushi, was key to the ninja stealth strategy, rendering opponents unable to focus or track their movements. A ninja's training extended beyond combat skills to encompass survival and self-sufficiency in any environment. Ninjas were experts in seishinteki kyoyo, mental and spiritual refinement, which prepared them to endure harsh climates, survive with minimal resources, and handle the mental toll of isolation. Climbing and traversing terrain. Ninjas were adept at scaling walls, climbing trees, and moving swiftly across rooftops. They used specialized tools like kajinawa to aid in climbing, as well as the kunai, which could be used to anchor in rock or wood. By training in mountain regions, ninjas learned how to navigate rugged landscapes with ease, becoming virtually invisible in forests, rivers, and rocky terrain. Water survival. Ninjas were also trained in suijutsu, allowing them to swim silently, float for extended periods, and even use hollowed reeds to breathe underwater. This skill enabled them to traverse rivers undetected, infiltrate castles surrounded by moats, and stage ambushes from unexpected positions. In many ways, a ninja was Japan's earliest spy, skilled in kancho and choho. Rather than relying on force, ninjas focused on gathering intelligence through observation and infiltration. Ninjas were trained to analyze information, identify enemy weaknesses, and relay crucial details to their employers. Unlike samurai, who openly identified with their lords, ninjas operated in secrecy, making them indispensable in intelligence work. The ability to interpret and use gathered information was essential to the ninja's role. They trained in analyzing people's behaviors, eavesdropping without detection, and using coded messages to convey information. Some ninjas even developed complex sign languages or symbols to communicate in silence. In training to be a ninja, every sense, skill, and tool was sharpened to a level that made them incredibly versatile. The ninja's arsenal was far more than just weapons. It included mastery over themselves, their surroundings, and their enemy's psychology. Their skills, refined over generations, transformed them into formidable operatives whose legendary abilities would endure in the Japanese collective memory. In the next chapter, we will explore some of the pivotal missions and battles that cemented the ninja's place in history and lore, showcasing how they applied these skills in the complex power struggles of feudal Japan. Chapter 3: Ninjas in Warfare and Espionage. With their unique skills and unconventional methods, ninjas became sought-after operatives in feudal Japan's conflicts. During the Sengo Jidai, or Warring States period, their services were indispensable to powerful daimyo vying for control in a land fraught with constant battles and shifting alliances. This chapter dives into the specific missions, tactics, and legendary exploits that highlight the ninja's role in Japan's tumultuous military history. The Warring States period saw intense political and military upheaval as various clans clashed over control of Japan. Unlike traditional armies, ninjas provided a different type of advantage, one based on intelligence, stealth, and sabotage. They were deployed in missions that ranged from gathering information on enemy positions and supplies to more dangerous assignments, like infiltrating heavily guarded castles or assassinating key figures. Their flexible and covert approach made them invaluable in a time when even the slightest edge could alter the fate of entire provinces. For feudal lords, ninjas offered an alternative to costly battles, allowing them to weaken their enemies from within. Ninjas from the Iga and Koga clans, particularly, earned reputations for their loyalty, skill, and effectiveness, which placed them in high demand. These clans even held mutual alliances with some daimyo, working primarily for those who respected their secrecy and autonomy. However, the ninjas' services came with a catch. They could be hired by nearly anyone, making them both allies and potential threats depending on the highest bidder. Certain missions carried out by ninjas have become legendary, underscoring their role in Japan's feudal conflicts and shaping their mythic status. Here are a few of the most renowned exploits. 1. The Oda clan's siege on Iga. One of the most well-documented clashes between samurai forces and ninja clans occurred when the powerful warlord Oda Nobunaga attempted to subjugate the Iga region. Ninjas from the Iga clan resisted Nobunaga's initial assaults with guerrilla tactics, using their knowledge of the terrain to ambush his forces, set traps, and employ hit-and-run attacks. Although they ultimately lost to Nobunaga's overwhelming numbers, their resistance inflicted significant losses on the Oda forces, showcasing the ninja's strength in unconventional warfare. 2. Ishikawa Geeman's assassination attempt. Ishikawa Geeman, a semi-mythical ninja, became a folk hero in Japan for his brazen attempt to assassinate Toyotomi Hideyoshi, one of Japan's unifiers. Disguising himself as a monk, Geeman infiltrated Hideyoshi's heavily guarded castle, allegedly reaching his sleeping quarters before being discovered. Though the attempt failed and Geeman was executed, his story has been romanticized as one of the most daring ninja missions, symbolizing the ninja's willingness to defy even the most powerful rulers. 3. The role of the Koga ninjas in the siege of Odawara. During Toyotomi Hideyoshi's siege of Odawara Castle, ninjas from the Koga region were hired by Hideyoshi's forces to conduct espionage and spread misinformation among the defenders. Posing as castle workers or townsfolk, they sabotaged supplies, spread rumors to lower morale, and provided crucial intelligence on enemy weaknesses. This strategy weakened Odawara's defenses, contributing to Hideyoshi's eventual victory. Ninja missions during warfare required a variety of infiltration techniques and an understanding of psychological manipulation. Unlike samurai, who honored open combat, ninjas took pride in achieving their objectives without direct confrontation, which required skill, patience, and meticulous planning. Here are some of their signature tactics. Disguises and false identities. Ninjas often use disguises to infiltrate enemy strongholds undetected. They might pose as merchants, monks, farmers, or even samurai. In doing so, they gained access to valuable areas, such as storage rooms, strategic meeting places, and barracks. By listening to gossip and observing security routines, they gathered intelligence critical to their employers. Sabotage and arson. Ninjas were adept at using fire as a weapon. In a feudal castle made mostly of wood and paper, a single flame could cause chaos, forcing guards to abandon their posts and leaving the area vulnerable. Ninjas would start fires as a distraction to aid in escapes, weaken enemy morale, or inflict substantial material damage. They also sabotaged food supplies, poisoning or contaminating stores of rice and water to reduce the enemy's ability to sustain a siege. Silent assassination. Though assassinations were rare due to their difficulty, ninjas would sometimes be assigned to eliminate key figures in enemy ranks. Assassins trained to exploit shadows, anticipate guards' patrols, and use silent weapons like the tanto or poisoned darts. These missions required immense patience and timing, often with the ninja waiting hours, even days, for the right moment to strike. Psychological manipulation. Ninjas knew that fear and paranoia could be as effective as any weapon. They employed psychological tactics to demoralize enemies, such as leaving behind shuriken or other symbols associated with ninjas in visible locations, making their presence felt even if they were long gone. Stories of ninjas slipping past defenses and enemy strongholds were spread to breed a sense of helplessness and fear among their enemies, sometimes leading opponents to abandon their posts. The contrast between ninja and samurai could not have been starker. Where samurai followed the Bushido code, valuing honor, loyalty, and direct confrontation, ninjas operated in the shadows, often in ways that the samurai would consider dishonorable. Samurai were highly critical of ninjas, viewing their tactics as cowardly or underhanded. However, their disdain did not negate the value of ninja skills, which were often indispensable even to the most honorable samurai. This clash of codes led to tension and, at times, friction between samurai and ninja forces. Though samurai relied on ninjas for missions requiring stealth or sabotage, they were wary of their abilities and influence. Ninjas, meanwhile, regarded samurai as bound by impractical ideals that hindered their effectiveness on the battlefield. The ninja code valued pragmatism, survival, and achieving results by any means necessary, even if it meant bending or breaking the rules. Despite their practical role in warfare, ninjas gradually faded from prominence as Japan moved toward unification. As the country approached the Edo period, peace under the Tokugawa shogunate diminished the demand for ninjas' unique skills. Yet, their influence on Japan's military strategy was indelible. The ninjas had proved the importance of intelligence gathering, psychological warfare, and adaptability in combat, principles that would resonate in military tactics for centuries to come. In time, the ninjas' shadowy tactics would become the subject of legend, embellished through stories, plays, and later media. Their ability to strike fear in powerful warriors, infiltrate the most secure fortresses, and evade capture made them figures of awe. While their methods diverged from the straightforward valor of samurai, ninjas represented an alternative form of heroism in Japanese history, showing that strength sometimes lay not in open combat, but in the skillful use of secrecy, patience, and intelligence. As we move to the next chapter, we will explore how the legacy of the ninja evolved during the Edo period and beyond, leading to their transformation from feared mercenaries into cultural icons, legends, and finally, the modern-day symbols of mystery and stealth. Chapter 4: The Decline of the Ninja and Their Transformation into Legend. As the Warring States period came to an end and the Tokugawa shogunate ushered in a long era of peace, the demand for ninja operatives dwindled. Yet, rather than disappearing completely, ninjas adapted to this new era, their roles evolving as their covert skills were no longer as vital. During this period, the ninja moved from the role of clandestine warriors to mythic figures whose stories captivated Japan. In this chapter, we'll explore the decline of the ninja, how they adapted to changing times, and how their legacy shifted from practical espionage to cultural legend. The beginning of the Edo period marked a profound shift in Japan's political landscape. Under the rule of Tokugawa Ieyasu, the country was finally unified, and the chaotic feudal conflicts that had ravaged the land for centuries subsided. The Tokugawa shogunate enforced strict societal order, discouraging internal conflict among daimyo and maintaining a centralized power structure that emphasized stability and isolationism. For the ninja, this newfound peace and stability were both a blessing and a curse. The warring factions that once vied for their services no longer needed clandestine operatives to infiltrate, spy, or sabotage rivals. With the gradual dissolution of feudal skirmishes, ninjas found themselves increasingly sidelined, their skills no longer essential in a society transitioning towards a more regimented peace. Many ninjas returned to their previous roles as farmers, merchants, or craftspeople, blending back into the communities from which they came. While traditional ninja activities were no longer in demand, some ninjas found ways to adapt. Many clans and individuals took up roles as security experts or personal bodyguards for high-ranking officials and wealthy merchants. Their expertise in stealth, situational awareness, and combat still made them valuable assets to those who feared assassination or attack. Certain ninjas also became teachers, offering instruction in ninjutsu as a martial art and system of discipline rather than an occupation. Training centers were established to preserve their knowledge, and lessons in ninjutsu emphasized self-discipline, meditation, and strategic thinking as much as physical skills. This shift from battlefield operatives to protectors and instructors allowed some ninja families to survive through the Edo period, even as their original purpose faded into the past. During the Edo period, Japan experienced a cultural renaissance. The newly stable environment allowed the arts to flourish, and Japanese society became increasingly interested in theater, literature, and storytelling. It was in this setting that ninjas began to transform from historical figures into symbols of intrigue and mystery, paving the way for their entry into folklore and fiction. Ninjas in kabuki and literature, the theater arts, particularly kabuki, brought the ninja onto the stage, presenting them as mysterious figures with almost supernatural powers. Kabuki plays often portrayed ninjas as skilled tricksters, capable of extraordinary feats such as vanishing in clouds of smoke or walking through walls. These embellishments helped transform the historical ninjas' real-life skills of stealth and illusion into something magical and otherworldly. The written word also played a role in shaping the ninja image. Storytellers and writers, inspired by historical accounts and exaggerated tales, began crafting fictional stories that portrayed ninjas as legendary figures with abilities beyond human limits. The Bansen Shukai, an instructional manual compiled in 1676, described ninjutsu techniques, and while practical, it added to the growing body of ninja lore. This compilation of tactics, tools, and philosophies fascinated readers and contributed to the mystique surrounding ninjas, portraying them as resourceful, cunning, and nearly invincible. Emergence of ninja myths and supernatural powers. During this period, the notion that ninjas possessed supernatural abilities became popularized. Stories circulated of ninjas who could become invisible, transform into animals, control the elements, or even read minds. These myths painted ninjas as a breed apart, bridging the gap between human skill and mythical power. These fantastical abilities tapped into the cultural imagination, shaping how ninjas were perceived long after their real-world presence diminished. Though the Tokugawa shogunate strove for order, ninjas symbolized an alternative way of life that many found compelling. Ninjas had a certain appeal as independent agents, unbound by the strict codes of samurai honor or allegiance to a specific lord. In a rigidly hierarchical society, the idea of a self-reliant figure with both the ability and the autonomy to evade power structures had an allure of its own. The common people saw ninjas as symbols of resilience, able to survive in a world dominated by powerful daimyo and samurai. The ninjas' quiet rebellion against authority, coupled with their ability to operate unseen, made them symbols of personal agency and resilience. This image would endure, bolstering their status as cultural icons and inspiring tales of rebellion, freedom, and self-sufficiency that still resonate today. With the modernization of Japan during the Meiji Restoration in the late 19th century, the ninjas era definitively ended. But by then, the ninja legend had taken on a life of its own. Interest in Japan's feudal past grew not only within Japan but also in the West, where travelers and scholars began to record accounts of Japanese warriors, including the ninja. Western fascination and popular media. The ninjas' enduring allure spread across the globe, fueled by novels, historical accounts, and eventually, film and television. Hollywood brought the ninja figure to international audiences, with movies and shows that often exaggerated the ninjas' already mythical image. They became a fixture in global pop culture, appearing in everything from comic books and video games to animated series and blockbuster movies. Modern martial arts and ninja schools. Today, the legacy of ninjutsu is preserved in martial arts schools across the world, many of which trace their lineage to historical ninja clans. Practitioners study traditional techniques, physical conditioning, and mental discipline in honor of the ninja's heritage. Although modern ninjutsu is taught as a martial art rather than a combat practice, it preserves the essence of ninja philosophy, adaptability, resourcefulness, and self-discipline. The modern interpretation of ninjutsu highlights the ninja's values more than their stealth or combative prowess. In many ways, the art of the ninja has shifted from an external practice to an internal philosophy, focusing on personal growth, mental fortitude, and the adaptability that defined the original ninja spirit. From mercenaries to protectors, from historical operatives to icons of folklore, the ninja's evolution reflects a journey that stretches across centuries. The Tokugawa shogunate may have brought peace and stability, rendering the ninja's skills obsolete, but the ninja adapted and, in doing so, became timeless. Their transformation into symbols of mystery, independence, and resilience immortalized them, turning them from shadows in Japan's feudal wars into legends that continue to intrigue, entertain, and inspire. In the final chapter, we will look at how the legacy of the ninja has permeated modern culture, exploring the influence of the ninja archetype on global media, martial arts, and popular imagination. The world of the ninja, though transformed, remains alive, reminding us of their unique blend of discipline, adaptability, and mystery. Chapter 5: The Modern Legacy of the Ninja. In today's world, ninjas remain one of the most recognized and influential symbols of Japanese culture. Though the historical ninja as an operative vanished with the unification of Japan, their legacy thrives in modern popular culture, martial arts, and even in the business and personal development arenas. This final chapter delves into the ninja's journey from Japan's feudal era to their global impact, examining how the principles, techniques, and mythos of the ninja have shaped contemporary culture and continue to inspire generations worldwide. Ninjas began capturing Western imaginations in the mid-20th century, primarily through literature, film, and eventually television. Hollywood and Japanese cinema embraced the ninja figure, portraying them as both fearsome warriors and almost mystical beings with extraordinary abilities. The fascination with ninjas spread across the globe, and they became enduring figures in genres as diverse as action, fantasy, and adventure. Movies and television shows. The 1980s brought a boom of ninja-themed action films in Hollywood, where ninjas were depicted as highly skilled martial artists, often dressed in black, wielding shuriken, and equipped with impressive, gravity-defying moves. Classics like Enter the Ninja and American Ninja cemented the ninja archetype in Western media, though these depictions often emphasized style over historical accuracy. In Japanese cinema, films like Shinobi no Mono offered a grittier, more realistic view of the ninja, drawing from Japan's historical context while adding elements of drama and suspense. Anime and manga. Japanese anime and manga took ninja mythology further, blending tradition with imagination. Series like Naruto and Ninja Scroll expanded the lore, introducing younger audiences to concepts of ninja clans, specialized techniques, and legendary battles. Naruto, in particular, popularized the idea of ninjas as heroes with unique powers, each character possessing distinct skills and traits rooted in traditional martial arts and fantastical abilities. Anime and manga's portrayal of ninjas has inspired countless fans worldwide, reshaping how modern generations perceive the ninja. Video games. From early arcade games like Shinobi to the popular Ninja Gaiden and Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, video games have kept the ninja alive in the virtual realm. Players assume the role of skilled ninjas, embarking on quests that require stealth, agility, and combat prowess. These games introduced new audiences to the ninja's stealthy and disciplined qualities, while also allowing players to experience the thrill of the ninja's legendary skills firsthand. While popular culture often portrays ninjas as near superhuman, the physical and mental discipline they embodied has influenced modern martial arts and personal training. Schools worldwide now offer training in ninjutsu, the ancient art once practiced by historical ninjas, blending it with contemporary self-defense techniques. Modern ninjutsu schools. Schools dedicated to teaching the art of ninjutsu still exist, offering students a window into traditional ninja techniques and philosophies. Organizations like the Bujinkan, founded by Masaroki Hatsumi, have brought ninjutsu to an international audience. Students of modern ninjutsu learn a combination of armed and unarmed combat, stealth, and agility exercises, along with breathing techniques and mental focus practices that echo the philosophies of ancient ninjas. Though now taught more as a martial art than an espionage skill, ninjutsu remains rooted in the spirit of adaptability, resilience, and tactical thinking. Influence on fitness and personal development. The ninjas' focus on discipline, endurance, and adaptability has influenced modern fitness programs that encourage strength and mindfulness. Obstacle courses, agility training, and even yoga practices now incorporate elements inspired by the ninja skill set. In business and self-help circles, the ninja mindset is often cited as a model of perseverance and strategic thinking, making the ninja an archetype for those pursuing personal growth and professional success. Whether it's being flexible, staying calm under pressure, or finding creative solutions, the ninja's ethos resonates beyond physical skills, influencing mental resilience and a focus on continual self-improvement. While samurai are often seen as symbols of loyalty and honor, ninjas represent qualities of independence, adaptability, and mystery. In a world dominated by technology and transparency, the ninja's ability to operate unseen still captivates people's imaginations. Ninja as rebels and free thinkers. Ninjas are often viewed as rebels, masters of their destiny, acting independently rather than serving under strict codes of loyalty like the samurai. In this way, they resonate as symbols of individualism and autonomy. This image has inspired characters in literature, film, and real-world thinkers alike, who see in the ninja a model of self-reliance and the power to shape one's path, regardless of social conventions or constraints. Japan's ninja tourism and festivals. Japan has embraced the ninja's cultural legacy, turning it into a point of pride and a tourism attraction. Towns like Iga and Koga, historically associated with ninja clans, host annual ninja festivals, where visitors can see demonstrations, tour museums, and even dress up as ninjas. These events celebrate the historical and mythological aspects of ninja culture, making them accessible and appealing to both locals and international visitors. Ninja-themed attractions, museums, and ninja villages across Japan offer insights into the tools, techniques, and lifestyle of ninjas, blending history with interactive experiences that capture the imagination of tourists. In addition to their physical skills, ninjas left a legacy of mental discipline and philosophical principles that continue to influence modern thought. Their emphasis on observation, flexibility, and adaptability offers valuable lessons in today's fast-changing world. Ninja principles in business and strategy. In business and military strategy, concepts like ninja marketing or ninja tactics describe unconventional or stealthy approaches that prioritize subtlety and adaptability. The ninja's skills in evasion and strategic planning are sometimes used as metaphors for effective decision-making, encouraging individuals and organizations to think creatively and find solutions without attracting unnecessary attention. Ninja principles like patience, planning, and versatility are applied by entrepreneurs, soldiers, and strategists who value the ability to operate smoothly and subtly in competitive environments. Mental and emotional discipline. Ninjas practiced meditation and techniques to strengthen their mental resilience, enabling them to perform under high stress. In a world where anxiety and stress levels are high, the ninja's focus on mindfulness and emotional control has gained relevance. Modern psychological practices often emphasize similar principles: being present, observing without judgment, and responding rather than reacting, traits that were essential to the ninja's survival. This mental resilience, once necessary for secret missions, has become a tool for personal well-being and success. Ninjas have undergone a transformation from historical figures to folk heroes and, ultimately, to global icons. Their blend of mystery, discipline, and defiance of convention continues to capture the imagination of people worldwide. Through movies, anime, martial arts, and philosophy, the legacy of the ninja endures, shaping perceptions of heroism, independence, and mental fortitude. Today, ninjas serve as more than just a reminder of Japan's feudal past. They are symbols of adaptability and resilience in a rapidly changing world. They represent the power of the individual to overcome obstacles through skill, intelligence, and perseverance. The ninja's evolution from shadowed warriors of medieval Japan to cultural legends demonstrates their unique ability to transcend time and culture, embodying values that resonate universally. From the hidden valleys of Iga and Koga to global screens and martial arts dojos, the ninja has moved from the shadows to the spotlight, leaving a legacy that celebrates both historical heritage and timeless principles. While the days of feudal warfare are long over, the spirit of the ninja remains alive, inspiring those who seek strength in subtlety, power in patience, and resilience in the face of change. The ninja, in essence, will always endure, not just as figures from the past, but as symbols of an everlasting, enigmatic mastery. As we emerge from the shadows and into the present, the story of the ninja lives on, not just in the pages of history, but in the essence of modern culture, philosophy, and discipline. While their role as covert operatives may have vanished with Japan's feudal era, the ninja's legacy endures, transformed into symbols of resilience, adaptability, and the triumph of intellect over brute force. In our journey, we've unveiled a story woven from secrecy and survival, tracing the path from humble beginnings in mountain villages to the heart of Japan's turbulent war-torn periods, and finally, to a global fascination with these shadow warriors. From the training halls of ninjutsu to the fictional realms of anime and cinema, the influence of the ninja transcends boundaries and generations. The story of the ninja is a reminder of the strength that lies in subtlety, the power of discipline, and the wisdom in patience. It reminds us that even in the quietest places, history is forged by those who can adapt, observe, and act with precision. And as we close this journey, the shadows cast by the ninja continue to move with us, inspiring those who seek to master themselves and the challenges around them. The ninja may have stepped from the shadows of history, but their spirit, timeless and resilient, remains with us, always ready, always watching, just beyond the veil of myth and reality. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.